All right, Dancing Queen, what are we going to be talking? Did I lose you there for a minute? What are we going to be talking about tonight?
Hello and welcome to the podcasting and live streaming channel. Tonight we're talking about the big shift of moving into a home-based studio and how you can accomplish that and why you'd want to.
Well, you know, we have answers to all those questions because we're sitting in one now, aren't we?
That's right.
Let's go for it. Sounds like a fun conversation. You're going to take the lead on this, right?
I'll be asking you questions and you'll be answering them.
Nonetheless, stay with us. It should be a lot of fun tonight.
Toby and I want to provide value to our community, and we hope you enjoy the videos we create. We appreciate you being here to engage with us. To help us in return, you can share your ideas and appreciation by clicking on the thumbs up like button, subscribing, clicking on the bell to receive notifications, and writing a positive comment. Then share our videos with your family and friends so we can grow the channel and reach more wonderful people in the future. Thanks.
Thanks.
All righty.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Looks like I got a new shirt for work.
Yeah, isn't that a cool
Work
AGK Media Studio shirt?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Right?
Very cool. Gonna have to get one for me, I guess.
Yep.
An XL instead of a SM. Oh, TTSM.
All righty. So tonight we're going to talk about the big shift, but let's talk a little bit about older shifts that we've gone through over time.
Wow.
Toby and I first met when we worked in public access television together. And from there, of course, we went into live streaming on basically several different platforms and growing as well a YouTube channel. And then as soon as we were able to live stream on YouTube, we started doing that. Live streaming to Facebook, we were doing that. And so it's always been a shift in technology, and it's nice because it starts off where we had to go somewhere and to park downtown Albuquerque. Then we had to, because we had to drive and park and go there and meet up with people. And now we can do everything from home. It's comfortable. It's easy. There's no driving across town. So there's that shift from having to go somewhere to work to being able to work from home, and having to deal with equipment that was huge and took up a studio and was very expensive, to having a studio in our home where we can just flip a few switches, and it's in our budget to be able to do that. So let's talk a little bit about those switches and how that affected you over time.
So one of the benefits that I had was that my career started in association with the information technology industry, right? That's not what I did for a living. It's not what my degree is, but almost everything that I did in the context of my work for the federal government was associated with information technology. So in some ways, I don't want to say I was forced to maintain an awareness of it. I actually enjoyed it. It was a field that I really liked and I enjoyed. And so I had to go through these constant shifts. And there was a point at which, probably in the 90s, that I felt comfortable in predicting what was going to happen. And I remember in the early 90s giving a speech at the conference for the historically Black colleges and universities. I was invited to speak, and I made this presentation. This was, I don't know, probably it was pre 9/11, so 1999, 2000. And my presentation was about how colleges and universities were going to have to transform one day to the idea, the concept of distance learning, because that's what it was called then, distance learning, meaning you didn't show up on a college campus. You didn't live in a dormitory. You lived where you lived, and you received your education via communicating with your teacher, who was instructing you, either in real time or with recorded videos, pre-recorded videos. And I got some pushback from the educators.
Of course,
saying
that's their job.
That's not, and it wasn't hard pushback. It was just, it was a conference.
Right.
It was because I made a presentation, I had 45 minutes to make the presentation and 15 minutes worth of Q&A, and the Q&A went an hour and a half. And most of it was this conversation about how is that going to work, and what do we need teachers then? Why do we need teachers? Why don't we just do everything with robots? That kind of thing. It jumped from a rational conversation to a point where it got a little irrational and then back again. And so I was very aware of these transitions were going to take place. I'm reminded again, I was in Walmart the other day, and I have a new app on my phone that enables me to go into the store, take a picture of the product that I'm buying, the scan code. It adds it up, and then when I walk out of the store, I point my camera at one of the self-help machines, and it has another scan code, and it prints out a receipt on my phone for me, indicating that and that's what I walk out. I get to hold up my phone when I'm walking past the. Yeah. I predicted that one day we'd buy groceries, and we're not there yet. Eventually, you'll just be able to put everything in your basket, walk through.
We are there. I mean, it's just there's only a couple of those stores, but they do exist.
Yeah. And so it's going to get more and more mechanical like that, more and more information technology based, but incorporating other technologies. The scan codes are all about IR. That's eventually they're going to be infrared codes in each of those cans of tomatoes that you're buying. So the advantage I had was watching these things change. And I think the big point for me was when our friend Forrest Van asked us to live stream that event for him in Santa Fe. And my memory was of the last live stream event that I did that required, and you guys have heard me say this before, that required a truckload of equipment and a crew of 10. And all of that had been reduced to a little red box about that big. And it was very exciting. As a matter of fact, I convinced him to pay for the box. It was $500. And we did that live stream, and it was really exciting because we live streamed to our YouTube channel. And actually, it was at that time, it was my personal YouTube channel. But it excited me about that enough that I convinced Shelley and some of my other friends to start a streaming business. And for 3 years, that's what we did. And then
now we were using cameras, not holding the phone up.
Right.
So.
Yeah, we had 3 cameras connected through Blackmagic switchers. The box was about, I took all the technology that we required and I put it into a box. What was the name of that company? It had a funny name. Buffalo something. Buffalo Case. 2x2. Put all the technology in there. And we had 4 cameras, 4 camera people, audio to go along with it, audio interfaces, and we had a great time. We did some great events, and then I sold the company at the request of the what did they call them? You Public. What were they? The public access station. They wanted to get into it, and so it was easier just to sell it. And then we kind of relaxed. And then Shelley's idea was to start another YouTube channel called A Gypsy's Kiss. And before we knew it, we were streaming on that channel, and it was getting progressively easier and progressively better. And the platforms were making it more readily available. YouTube made a big investment in streaming back in 2017 and 2018, continues to do so, but you could tell that was a direction they wanted to head. And then the pandemic hit. And the pandemic forced the idea of distance between communicators, between individuals, right? We weren't going to be able to see each other. Whether we were family, friends, or business associates, we couldn't come in contact with one another at the risk of, one of us or one or more of us getting the virus. So the companies that were pretty good at that time, including YouTube and Facebook and companies like Zoom, accelerated their investment, and they got better than really good. They got masterful at it and made all that technology available to us. So right now we're using a product called StreamYard. We like it a lot. It does a lot of the right things for us. But there are 10 or 11 competitors in different niches that compete with StreamYard for different reasons. And all of them evolved very rapidly over the past year and a half. And that's good for us because it makes the concept of a home studio completely rational, and more importantly than rational, available to the average non-technical individual. I have, like I said, I have the benefit of having been having technology in my back pocket my whole career, but this is technology that doesn't require you to be, if you can use a smartphone, because the concept is exactly the same. If you can use a smartphone and you can FaceTime or whatever the Android version of FaceTime is, although FaceTime now accepts Android, by the way. You can download FaceTime to your Android
I
phone.
use Google Duo.
Okay, whatever. If whatever those are, if you can do that on your phone, you can live stream a program from your home.
Mm-hmm. And over the past 4 years, as we expanded our own YouTube channel, other people saw us and said, hey, I can do that. And very often they would either start a YouTube channel or they would call Toby and ask him for advice on how to set up a YouTube channel or a studio in their home, or what equipment they might need, or they had purchased equipment and they weren't sure how to use it. So he would walk them through a lot of troubleshooting with that. But if you're not in it just to talk about your hobby on YouTube, why might you want to have a home studio and be able to live stream at the flip of a switch? I can think of a few things like networking, having a networking meeting. I attend at least one a month, meeting your clients. If you can do that, instead of having to be face-to-face, you can do it over a Zoom call or Google Meet or whatever you prefer. But that not only saves you time commuting, but it opens up the world to you to have clients around the world instead of only those who you can meet face-to-face. You can also do training and offer presentations on any topic that you choose to bring people in, teach them, and have them connect with you and your business. Is there anything I've missed?
Well, no, you've packaged it really nicely. But if you look at it from the business perspective, if you look at it an individual who's building a business, right? And they start by establishing the business from a legal perspective, and they have a reason for doing it. They could be selling products or services, but then they go through the what most people refer to as the marketing, business development, sales, and closing cycle, right? That's what your business is all about. So the question you have to ask yourself from the context of today's discussion, making the switch to the home, and it's more than just a studio. From a business perspective, it becomes your command center, right? So think of it this way. Let's say I wanted to start a business you call them coaches. I prefer consultants, right? I wanted to give advice to people who wanted to build home studios, right? I have to market to them. I have to develop the relationship, sell them, and eventually I have to maintain that relationship, right? Well, imagine if what I decided to do was what I'm doing tonight, sharing, we're doing tonight, sharing our expertise on YouTube in a live stream that's going to end up in a permanent video that basically will help people understand what we do, how we work, things like that. So let's say you were a consultant and you specialized in financial management, like Peter, right? So he could do live streams with or without guests that talked about whose focus was financial management. Then as you developed a client, the pre-sales process, as you went into business development, you could start engaging with that client face-to-face. And more importantly, you could save each one of those recordings and make them available to your clients so that they had a memory of what they don't have to make notes, which you could never do in a regular business environment because you were visiting with one another or you want a phone call or something like that. This is recording the face-to-face conversation. And you get to the point where you make the sale, and now all I have to do to make a sale is ask them, send them to a page that asks them exactly which of the products or services they want, and then they can pay through that, and I can walk them through that if they want me to. And again, face to face. And then from that point forward, whatever products or services I've offered, and I have to maintain the integrity of those products and services as the relationship develops past being a first customer to someone who's you're helping to transform their business. Now you do that face to face. You have regular conversations with them. How are things going? How did the install go? What else do you need from me, etc. So it becomes more than just a home studio. It becomes a command center where you can run your business. And it doesn't make any difference if you're selling services or products. Because if I wanted to, I could send you to our, for example, a Gypsy's Kiss shop on Amazon. And you could buy products there that are going to result in a commission to us, for selling those products. Services are much easier because, again, you have this engagement. And the nice thing about it is there's no travel time. Mm-hmm. Most of my career was spent in Washington. Mm-hmm. So first of all, it was a minimum of 1.5 hours each way to work downtown. And that was on a good day, right? If something happened on 66 into DC, then it was 3 hours, 4 hours. Sometimes it was like I just decided, find the nearest U-turn and turn around because you're not going in today, But then anytime you had to go visit one of your clients, and I was downtown on K Street. So a lot of my clients were within, a 2-mile radius of me. So I would either take the metro or a cab, or I would walk, depending. A lot of the clients that were government contractors were somewhere inside the Beltway, but there were a lot more outside the Beltway. So I had to drive back out to them, make a decision about. I always tried to schedule them late in the afternoon, so I didn't have to go back into DC. Mm-hmm. So there was that travel time, and I spent more time traveling in my business than I did and I'm not talking about the travel that I did on behalf of the contracts. I'm talking about just dealing with clients. Here, it's wake up, make your bed, shower, shave, come in your command center and start doing business. There's no traveling. And they don't have to travel either. And I think people, because again, of the impact of the pandemic, people are realizing how convenient it is not to have to do all those other things, yet be able to engage with your clients on a regular and consistent basis. That's redundant. On a consistent and a consistent basis, right? At any time. Like you've got if you're an 8 to 9 to 5 kind of person, you can be in your command center 9 to 5, and your client can be in their command center 9 to 5. And there's no, you want to come here, you want to go over there, shall we meet it for coffee, whatever. It's just, I got my coffee here, I'm calling you, So there is a real benefit to the way that we need to look at it in terms of the ability to do business, and not, we have the benefit, we have the benefit of having made some decisions that related not only to what our business is, but how we wanted to communicate with people. And so we made an investment in what is the third bedroom in my house. But now it's our command center. It's our, what did you call it? Our studio.
Yeah, home-based studio.
Yeah, home-based studio. And home-based studio and command center, business command center.
So, right. And of course, those who are marketing with social media understand that it used to be actually that you needed, the average was about 7 touch points to get people to engage with you. Because so many businesses are online nowadays, that's gone up to more like 20 to 30 touch points before people will engage with you, reach back and engage with you. So having the ability to create those touch points quickly and consistently and conveniently, that is going to help, you to speed along the process of reaching out to your ideal client as well.
And you have to consider about where businesses that serve a much broader market are going. The simple fact of the matter is, my two biggest providers are Amazon and Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't come in contact with them. I order from Amazon, and it shows up on my front step 3 days later.
Yeah.
And it's not delivered by an Amazon person. It's delivered by a UPS person. My groceries and other things that I need almost immediately are delivered from the local Walmart store. The only contact I have is the person that's dropping it off. And that's just enough to do thanks, thumbs up. So, and so if that's my expectation, I'm going to start asking other businesses,
Mm-hmm.
right? When I do business with them, do you deliver? Or can you, my Home Depot will deliver, but it's easier for me to say, I'll pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got parking places I can drive up. So there's these whole new set of models that don't ever require us coming in contact, face-to-face contact with those kinds of big providers of the things that we need.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've been into what's the technology place we used to do
Best Buy.
Best Buy. Haven't been into a Best Buy in 2 years, because they're all you have to do is call them. They tell you what time it's ready, or they send you a text message. Basically, it's ready. You drive over there. You tell the Home Depot knows when I drive up, right? Mm-hmm. They know when I'm drive up, and they get a message immediately saying, "We know you're here. Your package is coming out, or your whatever you order is coming out." So the whole model, as a result of the pandemic, has changed. I guess somebody has to ask, is it for the better? The question is, if you're the kind of person that likes that personal interaction with those big box vendors like Home Depot or Walmart or Amazon, well, it's not headed in that direction.
Right.
But if you're the kind of person who has personal services, like I need help with my, I can't figure out what Windows 10 is doing right now, right? And you need that personal contact, then it's more and more likely you're going to be doing that at a distance. The only time you'll speak with it, that even if I have a couple of TikTok guys that somehow are presented my For You page, and all they do is repair phones. And all they show is a package opening up. They put the phone down. They figure out what's wrong. They loosen some screws. I think I don't know how they do it actually. And then they put it back in a package and they send it back to you. Mm-hmm. So distance learning, distance buying, distance selling, distance engagement, distance conversations, distance visiting with family and friends is going to be more the norm, and the occasional opportunity to get together. My trip out east in August, your trip in
our party on the 3rd,
and our party on July 3rd, and your visit to your children in July. Those are going to become less and less likely, and you're just going to communicate because you have these things. I love FaceTiming with the gang because I can put them all over there, and I got the camera here, and I got the lights, makes me look good. That's the norm. And you'll see companies like Amazon and now Facebook are announcing portals that enable you to buy a product that you mount by your TV. Eventually, if they don't already, TVs will have cameras in them. And the large screen TVs, you'll hang it on a wall. There'll be a camera at the top. And that's how you'll communicate with your family over whatever whatever network service you're using. Mm-hmm. So that's going to, we're in the future that we used to envision.
Right.
And it came a little bit not a whole bunch faster, but the pandemic accelerated not only the technologies. I think the technologies were easy to get out because they kind of knew they were.
Most of it existed already.
Right. Yeah, there was no magic to it.
It was just more people adopting it all at once.
And that's right. And the minute that happened, the price goes down. Right. So what every year when I do walk into Walmart, I think to myself, I paid the same price as that 75-inch screen for a 32-inch screen just 2 years ago.
Mm.
You know, and they're just going to get more and more capable. They're already wirelessly connected. So how hard is it to put a camera on the top of that television set and make it so you can call your family,
Yeah.
on a node in their whatever their node is.
And I know some people might be thinking, well, that's a lot less being in touch with people, being in person, touching, and we all need, we all need to communicate with touch sometimes, and yes, we do. However, when we can save time on commuting, we can save time on going to the store and having to go in. We don't have to go in. We can just order in advance, pick it up, and leave. And we're saving this amount of time. We can use that time that we've saved to then spend on things that we enjoy and we love, such as hanging out with friends or meeting up with family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the new model is what I'm going to call the consideration model. The model is that you have to constantly consider how you're going to invest your time and money. Would you rather invest your time in driving to the grocery store, parking, walking, wandering around the grocery store, et cetera, et cetera? Or is that time better spent in the 10 minutes that you can get onto groceries.com or whatever it is, make a list and have them deliver it? And does it cost? Well, again, the stores are getting wiser. Prime, Amazon Prime. I've been an Amazon Prime member for several years now. Walmart has something similar. It's about the same price, $99 a year, and I can have as many deliveries as I want for the year for free.
Yep.
As long as I spend more than $35.
Mm-hmm. But you do that in one visit.
Yeah, you would do that anyway. Yeah.
So this, as I was speaking about the touch points that we can initiate through live streaming, podcasting, blogging, social media, and then after we've had enough touch points with people, then we can invite them to a one-on-one call. We can invite them into our Facebook group. We can invite them to a membership or offer them a course that we've created. So there is that coming closer. But first we have to establish, here's who we are, here's what we do, and here's what we believe, so you can decide if one, if you like us, and two, if you want to do business with us. And then if those criteria are met, then you'll take that step forward. And technology just makes it that much easier, more convenient to do that, because it's easy to email us, it's easy to call us, it's easy to get on a StreamYard call with us and just have a face-to-face chat. For instance, if you're having an issue with your Blue Yeti microphone and you don't know how it works, we can get on a call and we can walk you through the troubleshooting and make it work. So these are the things that we do from our command center and why we enjoy it. So what do you think people need the most in order to bridge the gap when they're moving from a business out in the world, a brick and mortar, to an online business they're doing from home? What is that piece that they need that is so often difficult or challenging or missing for them?
So back in the olden days, a couple of years ago, the big concern for most businesses was whether or not they had a competitive marketing presence, right? Whether or not they could be distinguished in the marketplace from their competitors. And so it was always important to make sure that your branding, your business corporate persona was distinct from your competition, so that you know why you were buying Geico insurance instead of Allstate insurance, right? Everybody had to deal with that. Well, what's changed about that is not only has the manner in which we market changed, because people are spending less and less time in front of TVs and more time in front of their smartphones, but the way people consume information is also changing. So one of the things that you have to consider in all of this is that instead of worrying about your market presence, you have to consider your social media presence, because that's where most people are getting their information now, via the social media platforms, from Facebook to Twitter to TikTok to Instagram to, name them. I mean, you could name the top 10. And so you need to make sure that whatever marketing presence you have is based on your social media presence. So when you mention things like, taking a live stream, turning it into a podcast, turning that into a blog post, turning any of those into smaller little chunks, shorts, as YouTube calls them, and posting them on other locations. So you have as broad a spectrum of social media presence as you can possibly make. The nice thing about that is it's a lot less expensive. It doesn't get expensive until you start buying advertising on the platforms. And even honestly, it's nowhere near as expensive as, this year we will likely spend as much in advertising for a broad social media presence as we did for one phone book ad, 10 years ago.
Yeah. And it's targeted.
Right.
You get to target the people you're
That's
actually
right. I can specifically say, that's right.
Instead of
I can never do that with a
spray
phone
and
book.
pray.
Right. Never do that with a phone book. But now I can say, we deal with individuals, encore entrepreneurs, 55 plus, et cetera, et cetera. And that's where those ads are going to be presented, even when we do advertising. But most importantly, our job is to make sure that we have a broad presence across all social media platforms in as many formats as we can possibly produce, and possibly produce without investing in, what you don't want to do is make a YouTube video that can't be made into a blog post, that can't be made into a podcast. That's where it gets wasteful, where you're trying to rebuild that content over and over again. And that's why, we're going to show the folks later are leveraging your content.
Repurpose, don't
repurpose,
rebuild.
right? Yeah, repurpose your content. But the most important parts of the studio, that you have to consider and that we talk about all the time are start with a good quality internet signal, right? High performance internet signal, preferably at the cable level if you can afford it. Then go from there to a pretty good computer. And if you buy a modern laptop, it should be enough without getting into, I took it just before the show started when Shelly told me what we were talking about. I'm going to show you some pictures. I took some pictures of our studio so you can see what we've got in here. You don't need what we have in here. We have a very specific reason. So first thing, good internet signal, a good internet connection, a good computer, either a laptop or a desktop, but a contemporary one, Windows 10 or the latest version of the Mac OS.
But a new or refurbished desktop, like for instance the Dell workstation, is half the price, or maybe even a third of the price of a comparable laptop that can do the same things.
Right.
So I prefer a desktop for that reason.
Yeah, the desktops that Shelly and I both have are refurbished Dell Xeon processor workstations with 32 gigabytes of memory. And they're, if we wanted to get into game playing on Twitch, we would want to get something else. But for what we do, it's got plenty of performance. And I think I paid around $400 for each of them, if that, refurbished. Mm-hmm. And they come with a 1-year maintenance contract. We've never had to use it. It's never failed us. It comes with Windows 10. Windows, of course, is constantly upgrading, or Microsoft is constantly upgrading. But the desktop is going to be less stressful for you than the laptop. And you don't. The thing about the laptop is, you had a laptop primarily for the sake of portability. Mm-hmm. And if you're in your home studio, you don't have to worry about portability. You can
Right.
have a desktop system, and I'll show you where ours sits. It doesn't actually sit on the desktop.
That's another thing. You used to, if you had to go out and meet clients everywhere, you wanted to have a laptop to take
Right.
with you,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
at least a tablet that
Right.
worked really well.
Yeah.
But now you can just do everything from home.
As
on
a matter
your
of fact,
desktop.
I had a pretty high performance Dell, an iCore 7 Dell, that I just got rid of because it was, I gave it to you. I
Yeah.
gave it to the kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was just cumbersome. It was clunky and big, and yeah, it was performance, but all it did was my email in the evening. So I traded it in for a Chromebook, much lighter, because that's what I do. Okay. So, internet, computer, good lighting, and if you're solo and not in the studio that we have, a good ring light will do. They run around $80, and in a minute we'll show you our Amazon store where you can get a lot of this stuff. We strongly recommend having a camera independent of your computer. That's why we go with a desktop plus a Logitech, either 920, 925, 920C. Any of the Logitech cameras would work. And then communications, headset and microphone. And the one that we're using right now is designed for XLR, but the one that we recommend to people is the One Audio 7, I think it is. I'll show it to you. It's a headset microphone combination that will plug right into your computer, right into the 3.5 millimeter plug.
Why don't you put up do you have the
Amazon store
there?
Yeah, you're going to have to
Link.
remind me which one it is. Home Studio?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me post that first. This is our Amazon store. I'll change it right there. That's our Amazon.com/shop/A Gypsy's Kiss. And that will take you here. I will also put that link. Oops, let me go back one. Hang on. Oh, that was silly.
There, Amazon.com shop A Gypsy's Kiss.
So I will also put that in the comments so you guys can have it there as well. Okay, and let me share that with you. So this is our store, A Gypsy's Kiss. It's our
AGK Media.
AGK Media. You can't see because they've got this sign. This is our storefront. Let me see if I can do it this way. It's going to show me.
Guess not.
Anyway,
so
we have a bunch of kits that we put together for everybody, live streaming, podcasting, Shelly's favorites, AGK prizes, studio lighting. But we have a home studio kit. And
no, you don't have to get everything that's in there, but we put everything in there that we talk about so that you could find it if you needed to.
Right. So green screen background, if you want a green screen, this monitor, it's the 20,
some of these things are on sale today because it's Prime Day.
This is our Dell computer, a Xeon processor with 16 or 32 gigabytes. Let me see, what does this one have? E5 1620 quad with 32 gigabytes and a 2 terabyte hard drive and a graphics card. I can't remember the name of the graphics card.
NVIDIA, or is it?
NVIDIA graphics card, Q2000 graphics card. Here's a ring light, $31, which is plenty of light. These are the chairs that we use. You don't have to go for $160, but if you decide you want to get a game style chair, get this one because you'll save $40 just on the wheels. This one comes with the two sets, one set of office style wheels, but they throw the roller wheels in with them. So, and those will usually cost you another $40. So you're saving that money on the wheels alone. Let me see what else we've got here. We've got
a good sturdy chair.
This is the camera that we use. I'm going to see if I can open them. This is a Logitech C920 Pro, a 1920 by 1080 camera. It just does, as you can see, it does really well for us. And then this is the headset we recommend. This is the One Audio A71 PC headset with a boom mic. You can also use them as plain headphones. It's a very versatile kit. Use them as headphones. You can use them with your smartphone. They're only $26. You'll be able to hear your client They will be able to hear you. There'll be no echo, no feedback. As a matter of fact, if there's going to be any problems, it's going to come from their side. So some people don't like wearing the headsets. Uh, just get used to it. It's the best thing you can do for communications, so that everybody can hear. You can hear everybody. And then let me see. You added the green screen. These are the lights we have, the lighting setup that we have, and I'll show you in just a minute. But if you're by yourself, all you need is one of these ring lights. That should be plenty. All right. So I'm gonna. That's another link. That's basically that kit. I'll copy that and put it in the.
Yeah, you can make the choice of if you want something that's just on the wall and stays up, which we prefer, or if you are a person who normally uses your phone for live streaming and whatnot, then the ring light might be the way to go.
So this is a Dell Precision. This is a refurbished kit, T3600 workstation with E5-1620 Xeon processor, quad core, 32 gigabyte, 2 terabyte hard drive, and the NVIDIA Q2000, I think. Yeah. NVIDIA Quadro 2000, 1 gigabyte graphics card.
Yep.
So
that one does include an operating
system, but you can buy it with it.
But yeah, but that was a really good deal for a desktop computer, $355.
Yeah.
For all that.
So, and free delivery if you're a Prime user. So we'll get it. Now, these are what we use for a lighting setup. We use the ring light. We have a ring light that we use when we're shooting Shelley doing her teleprompter work. But let me show you some pictures of our studio. So I took this picture just before we started today's show. And as you can see, we have 2 of those CFL compact fluorescent lights with the standardized wall mounts, and they're plugged in. There's no wiring that takes place here. It's just plugged in. There's our Dell computer sitting on, not quite on the floor. That's our Xfinity cable modem, which is connected to the computer via Ethernet rather than wireless. So we really get performance, and that's a 1 gigabyte service that we have. So it's a high performance service. We have 2 of those monitors that we showed you that we go back and forth. I'm showing the window. This is the monitor that's in the window. This table right here is kind of cool, and forgive my wires mess. I'm always making changes. But this table has a handle on it over here on this side, and it raises and lowers so it can get to standing height if you need it, or gets down to desk height if you need it. Now, our biggest investment, as a matter of fact, the biggest investment in this entire studio was not the computer. It was this Rodecaster Pro. You don't need that if most of your stuff is one-on-one. We do, 3 of our own shows plus a couple of shows for clients every week. So the Rodecaster, which is a $600 investment, that's, like I said, it's the biggest investment we made in this room. But if you look at it, there's $400 there, $600 there. These were $150 a piece, so that's $300. 1,300 speakers were the studio monitors, which we use, were another 100. So we have a total investment, including a color laser printer, of less than $1,500 in the studio. So there's the 2 headsets that you see. They're $150 a piece. But again, our studio is pretty flexible. I mean, we can do a lot of things with it, from one-on-one conversations with our clients to holding live streams like this to doing webinars if we had to. Let me go back. I'm going to show you 2 other things. Oh, rats, didn't mean to do that. Nope, didn't mean to do that either. Unless you guys want to read my mail.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so where are my other pictures? Now I lost them. Let's see.
In your downloads? I don't know. You put them in a new drive?
Oh, maybe they're probably easier to do. And let me see if I can do this. Okay. It's probably easier over here because they are in downloads. There we go. So one of the things that I did, I moved into this house now. This is the 3rd summer, so 2 years ago, right? And it came with 3 bedrooms. And I realized, of course, I needed a bedroom for myself and a bedroom for my guests. So when my children come to visit one of these days, lazy kids.
Hey, 3D Bronze.
Hey, 3D Bronze, how are you doing, sir? 3D Bronze, you're so funny. But because I made that decision, one of the decisions we did make is I decided to paint one of the walls chroma key green, or Hollywood green as they call it. And that's what's behind us. That's definitely behind us. Now, one of the things, having a lot of experience in this area, one of the things I knew I had to do was light that separately. So I did have an electrician come in and install 2 other lights. This is the one that was in the room. And as you can see, it's a bedroom with that window against the wall and the air conditioning and heating unit. And then I had my son, Jason, who's a tinsmith, make these shields for it so that it reflected right back against the wall. So we've made some changes so that it really is a studio for us. And that's how we use it. So we're very happy with the investment we made. And it literally was not a great big investment for us.
So when it comes to the home studio, what is the most helpful tool for the Encore entrepreneur and why?
When it comes to the home studio, so let's say that you wanted to start small, meaning your laptop, your camera, whatever light you have in your bedroom, even if it's looking at I'm going to do this right here. This is what I think is the most important investment that you can make.
Okay. Because audio is probably the most important thing in communication. People are not going to mind if your video is not quite all it could be, but when your audio is bad, it's really hard to communicate. And
you can count on your laptop. Your laptop will likely, even the Chromebook that I recently purchased to replace the Dell, it has a 1920 by 1080 camera on it. You're always looking down at it. Mm-hmm. But it has a camera, and it also has a microphone, and it also has speakers. But if you challenge that, if you try to use your microphone and your speakers, and your counterpart is trying to use their microphone and their speakers, you're going to spend 5 minutes before you even get started talking, working out the audio issues mm-hmm. that you'll have to get done. Wearing this headset avoids it on your end, and it actually helps the other person because they might get an echo on their end, but at least you don't have to listen to it. It's not going to be confusing to you. So if all I had was a laptop and a lamp at my desk, and I had to rely on that, the investment I would make would be in a headset.
There you go. And only $27.
Yeah, they're not expensive. And this particular model is very versatile mm-hmm. in that it also becomes, a regular headset. You can switch out the boom mic for a regular cable. And what's cool about the cable is it has a 1/4-inch phono on one end, a 3.5 millimeter on the other end, and it switches. So if you had to plug 3.5 into a phono or the headset into a 3.5, the cable switches back and forth. I mean, it's very ingenious. It took me a long time to find out. How many do we have? We have two of these sets.
Yeah, I've got
you have one
at
at yours, mm-hmm. and we have one here. They also make another Bluetooth headset that honestly is the best Bluetooth headset I've seen, I've used. So we're very high on one Audio A71, but I would say if you're about to launch yourself into, into a home studio or a command center, make that investment, and forget the Blue Yeti mics and.
Yeah. I don't know why everybody seems to hook up with people who recommend them to get the mic, the Blue Yeti. Oh, and then you need the isolator arm, and then you need this and that. It's like, why would you spend all that money and effort into setting up something like that just to avoid looking like a pilot. I don't
Right.
know. What's wrong with this?
And then go to Sporty's Pilot Shop and buy yourself those shirts that have the epaulets on
Yeah,
them.
there you go.
Maybe a little,
Captain's hat.
captain's hat and those flight glasses.
Yeah, the aviators.
Aviators. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. All right, that's all I have. So if this is something that's appealing to you, but you feel like you just you need more help, you need somebody to walk you through, help you with any troubleshooting that might come up, you can book a call with us at just go to messagesandmethods.com, and all of our links are there.
Yeah, you can go to messagesandmethods.com. You can go to let me just bring it up.
Is
for
it
you.
podcasting, live streaming, or something
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
That's why I go with messagesandmethods.com.
Well, you can here. I'll show you what to go. Go to
or go to tunis.com.
tunis.com.
That works too.
tunis.com, and then just scroll down to right there
Use
to schedule
some talk time.
Right.
Yeah.
And that'll open our calendaring app.
Super easy.
So it's easy to go. Oops. Well, got to fix that.
What happened there?
I don't know.
That was the right link. What the heck, man?
I'll have to check that. I'll make sure it works before you get it. But everything, if you just need to get in contact with us, that's the place to do it. So.
Yeah. Or just give us a call at the phone number that you see on the screen, for that matter.
Not in there.
We have a phone number on the screen, don't we?
It's going across the bottom.
Yeah. There. That's right. Podcastlivestream.com. There it is right there. It's on the screen. Silly me. So yeah, if you need help putting your studio together, troubleshooting anything that's not working, figuring out how something works, why, because we had a phone call with somebody a couple of weeks ago, and she just couldn't figure out why her Blue Yeti microphone was not working the way it should, and it didn't have much in the way of instructions with it. So we worked with her for 15 minutes, and we got it all squared away and straightened out for her. And she'd been working for days on it. So don't spend days. Just give us a call or go to podcastlivestream.com and
podcastlivestream.com, and you'll say schedule your free consulting call.
Yeah.
Click on that, and it will take you to the 60-minute
There you go. See, I knew it worked.
And it's got the times that were available and times, days and times that were available to have that conversation.
That's right.
All right.
Cool. So
what else do you want to show them before we leave?
Well, how about messages and methods? As you guys know, we do a show on Wednesday nights we call Messages and Methods, and we offer that time slot to people to come in and have an interview with us and talk about their business, their life as an encore entrepreneur or a legacy live streamer, or how they work in their home studio or their command center and how that works for them. So that just keeps us brimming with ideas and inspiration.
Let me show you what it looks like.
You're interested in coming on to our show with us, journey.messagesandmethods.com is where to go.
And that's set up so that Shelley set up, if you're interested, she said, if you're interested in being a guest on Messages and Methods, she set up 3 very short videos that explains how we work and what you have to do to become a guest, including
super easy.
Filling out the releases, the application, and scheduling your whatever day you want to be on that. So it's super easy, barely an inconvenience. Go to journey.messagesandmethods.com.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Oh, and we showed our Facebook page earlier for a minute, but we didn't talk about it.
Why don't you talk about that?
That's our Facebook page, Leveraging Your Content. It's a group. It's a Facebook group, and our shows that we do Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday go into that group, as well as additional resources we provide, like this book here, the how to become a podcast star, how to get booked on podcasts and be a great guest. That is in our Facebook group, or you can go get it and
We're going to show them.
hit the link.
We're going to show them the link here in
Yeah.
just a minute.
But that's a group is built for people who are wanting to be a legacy live streamer or an encore entrepreneur. They are in their 50s and older, and they want to have command center and all of that. So if you are shy about booking a call with us, but you maybe want to join the group, because we offer extra help in there as well.
Yeah.
There's our book, How to Get Booked on Podcasts and Be a Great Guest. This is a great check sheet for you if you are looking to start booking yourself onto podcasts to promote your business. Gives you a lot of helpful information about how to reach out to podcast hosts and how to get yourself booked on the podcast, and then what to do and what to expect once you get on the show.
I'm going to put that link in there as well. You can see it on the screen. Podcast star 01.agkmedia.studio.
01.
01, yeah, not 01. Did I say 01?
Yeah, we always say
Oh,
01, but then
misspelled
we remember
studio.
it's not an O, it's a 0.
Hang on, I misspelled studio.
Podcast star 01.agkmedia.studio. Super helpful.
There we go.
And again, that's also in our Facebook group. If you join the group, you can access it there as well. All right. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Cool.
I think that's it. Let me go back and make sure there's no comments that we missed. Let's see.
If you have any questions, please go ahead and put them in the comments. Even after the video has been put up and on YouTube, and we will see your comments.
3D
and answer your
bronze.
questions.
Our good friend 3D Bronze is being funny. And it's okay. Mac, oh, hi, Mac. 3D Bronze bearing from Florida. So we booked that time. They have. Yep. Hope you guys are having fun with that. I don't know what else to tell you, except that, have fun or move on, I guess.
Big shift.
Yeah.
The big shift.
It's the big shift.
The big shift.
We made a big shift, and we hope you make a big shift too.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Let me give you some music before you go, because I really like this, and YouTube is not going to be able to give me a hard time with it.
Let's hope not. We will be back tomorrow for Messages and Methods. We're going to talk about all the changes that we've been through in the past year and all the big shifting we've been doing.
Come back and visit us. You'll hear why we made all the changes that we did in the last year, and what we're expecting to happen with it.
And then Thursday we'll be back to talk about the shift that you need to make mentally to go from being an employee to being an entrepreneur from home.
That is a big shift.
Yeah.
But you've got to make it.
Oh yeah, and there's some things you need to look at in a whole new way.
So it's funny because my 3 East Coast daughters all work for high-tech companies, and they were office workers, and in the past year they had to make that change. So don't forget, you have about 30 seconds now. The super chat light is lit. If you want to super chat us, go down to the bottom of your chat window. There's a stylized but grayed out $sign. Click on that. YouTube will walk you through sending us some money. How cool is that? May as well. Can't dance. All right. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night on Methods and Methods, 7 p.m. Mountain Time.